Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on our YouTube account, and thank you guys for joining me for the stream. A little bit later today, we had football today, and unfortunately, I had to take my fortunately I had to take my son to football. So very cool. So we know what is coming down the pipeline now. Overall, the Abyssal Expedition. Now, if you are newer to AFK Arena, the Vault of Time or the Abyssal Expedition is coming down the pipeline. This is the biggest, by far the biggest event that we have within AFK Arena, and it takes the most time, the most dedication, and it does give you an animated avatar frame, which you'll see right here, or not really animated, but this is season 4. Now we are on the 11th season of the Vault of Time, so it's kind of crazy that going through, so a lot of different bosses, a lot of different combinations, but overall it is in a game mode that I do look forward to every single time. And this iteration of it is not going to be the beta or the trial version. This is going to be the legit version. So I did join a new guild. I was in Adventure Walk. I am actually currently in, as you see right here, going to be competitive with Back in Black, or kind of Back in Black, is the guild that we're going to be running the Abyssal Expedition with. So it is going to be very cool. What is going on? Look at all of the people already here in chat. That is awesome to see. What's going on? Mesmer, Nix is here. 7MA, Ekor is here. Sunrise, Soul Withered. A lot of people already here. All right. So we have a lot of stuff to cover in today's video. And I know as we sit right now, Randall is not up. So this is a question that I've been getting. So right now on the global servers, Randall is not up. But on the test servers, Randall is already there. Randall is available, and they are already running and getting ready to, for a lot of people, run the Abyssal Expedition. And that's where, is he going to be very imperative when it comes to the support? It seems like the answer for that is going to be yes. And then, of course, the other hero that is going to be a game changer, when you think of the last time we kind of run the 10 test version of the Abyssal Expedition, Aurelia is going to be another hero that is going to be a game changer in formations, boss formations. We're going to have to see exactly what heroes we're using in here. But of course, that means we're going to have to get the furniture on there. We're going to have to build up a lot of these heroes to get ready to be competitive within that Abyssal Expedition. Yeah, it's the most fun game mode. I agree with you. I do absolutely love I absolutely do love the Abyssal Expedition. You know, we've ran, honestly, 12 seasons at this time, not including, you know, the beta versions that we did, all the iterations, run it with a bunch of different accounts. It is one of the, again, most probably complex and difficult one, but if you're going in there just to have fun, it's very easy. Even on my basic accounts, even on the new accounts, going in there and just running it to get the loot out of there, because once it does release, you'll see there is a considerable amount of rewards out of there, which is awesome. And even looking back at some of the other ones, I ran with casuals for a couple years. And then, of course, Kilby Ross has been crushing it since. Back in Black, that is another version of the guild that we are in. But you can see they are running a lot of different guilds in here. So again, I am super excited. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Here it's 2 p.m. Just connect yourself to everyone and bam, you're all set. Yeah, that's it. And that's where a lot of players, where if by chance you do, you fall behind, it is super difficult to go ahead and catch up. That's why I say when you look at the casual, I wouldn't go the casual. I would go in the honorable way. Honorable way does cost you 3,000 diamonds, but going in with honorable, it's a lot more players that are willing to go, you know, all the way to Prince to get the final title, to get those diamonds back. And of course, when you're going in there, it's logging in once or twice a day. You're not spending and sitting really short of the very first iteration, day 1. You're not spending an extended amount of time. You come in, you make some moves, you get to a point where you're just kind of getting essence at a point, and then go in there. What's going on, Mystical? I remember I spawned in the middle of nowhere, and the main group was, yeah. So that does happen, Arto, and that only happens if you don't have a full Abyssal Expedition. So that's kind of something to remember, is when you're going in as a honorable player, even looking usually within the first hour or two, we have the entire guild logged in, meaning that you're not going to be sitting by yourself. Even if you're placed by yourself, it's going to be literally a matter of minutes before everybody else is placed, which of course just takes a lot of planning in there. That one guy is here. Stefan is here as well. Thank you guys for joining me. It'll be the first time I've been competitive ABAC, so I look forward to a new experience. It is so. When you look at the competitive nature of the Abyssal Expedition, absolutely it is competitive. Depending where you want to rank, if you want to get some of those frames, it is a very competitive game mode. But like I said earlier, it doesn't have to be. if you're going in there and you're just playing the game for playing the game, you can get to Prince. Even if just a couple of heroes or a couple players within the Abyssal Expedition are active, you can get to Prince even without having everyone else. When you start getting all of the relics unlocked in there, you can just dominate the boss. And even just with a couple different players, you can burn that down. Now in here, we're looking for poke coins. We want to go ahead and we want to build out some more heroes. And I'm also saving resources. Now this is something that I feel like a lot of players kind of forget, is there's been times in the Abyssal Expedition. If you have an important question, definitely check it out. How do I play PC on chat? This is through BlueStacks. I download BlueStacks. This is where I do play. BlueStacks works incredibly well here. My son approaches twilight, so it's late here. Yeah, it's cool to see all of the people from all over the world. But like I was saying with the Abyssal Expedition, there has been times in the past where a hero provides or proves to be very broken in a lot of the formations, meaning that looking even down here, I am saving some of my resources out of here. I am saving some of my, some of the red chests. You can see we have 586. I am saving some of the Dragon Speak emblems. We are going to have to see if by chance that happens again, because there has been times in the past where we've seen something like the original version of Baden that is super, super broken. We've seen the same with Demia. We've seen the same a couple different iterations of the Abyssal Expedition that a hero was working exceptionally well. So if you did have that hero, you were doing incredibly well. If you didn't have that hero or didn't have the resources to build that hero, unfortunately, you were not progressing as fast. It was kind of tough. Yeah, I played through BlueStacks. Yep, if you got questions, Mesmer is in here. I know he answers a lot of different. Are you testing the new Greyborn hero? We did out Mystical. I don't know exactly where he's falling in the test server. So over on the test server, I don't go through. I'm not playing the Abyssal Expedition on the test server. It takes incredibly too much time to run it on multiple places. And of course, with everything else we have going on right now, I am not running on the test server. But again, reports early that we're getting from the test server is the new Greyborn hero is doing very well, that he is performing very well. Now, of course, on the test server, they're not at the last boss, they're not at the final boss. It's going to take, of course, getting some relics behind there. It is going to be a little bit. Any info about the new Awakened? Not as of yet. Players are saying Thorin, which Thorin would be pretty cool. I would love to personally, I would love to see Grez. I think Grez would be a really cool addition to the Awakened heroes. Isabella is another one that a lot of players are looking at. Pharrell, again, another one. Since we don't need Khazard for the Mihira charm because of Libirda, now replace Mihira, we can back to Mihira Khazard and how nerfed it is. So the only thing with Khazard and Mihira, the only place that honestly they're being run for that one is the campaign. And even now, when you look through formations, it seems like the Khazard-Mihira combination might work if you're very, very low level. But even looking here at the Awakened Heroes, even looking kind of at a lower level, it's not being used anymore. The Thorn Cheese, as you can see right here, still being used in a lot of formations. But the combination of Khazard and Mihira, it doesn't seem like players are running them anymore. And I haven't really seen them that have been run pretty quick. Is there another dimensional crossover? So that's a good question, Tommy, because a lot of players were kind of questioning why the hero, why Randall came out so early. A lot of players, again, speculation is there is another crossover coming. We know there was actually a questionnaire that came out to a lot of different players and what crossovers they would like to see in the future. Could be another crossover coming this year, not 100% sure. Could also see another dimensional hero, which again, we definitely could see what is coming down the pipeline. It's going to take some time. I have an ult with 1K white chest. Should I use it to get 50? No, absolutely not, Logan. I do not think, and I really do not, and even personally, when you look at the cost of building out heroes, so when you think of a hero, taking a hero from a plus 40 to a plus 50, there is no more, there's not another ability that's unlocked. There's nothing else short of the stats. And when you think of the stats, taking a hero to a 40 to a 50, I don't even know if 1,000 chests will take it to a 50, if I remember correctly. I don't think, I mean, short of being a very, very big whale in AFK Arena, I will not, and I do not recommend anyone building or getting a hero up to a plus 50 just because of the sheer cost. The cost of doing that is not worth it. You can level up so many other heroes and level them up consistently to a plus 40 even versus going and building them. So I saw it from Reddit on Dolly's. I haven't looked at Dolly's dialogue, which funny, Primo, I was actually thinking about that. And I know Randall is up on the test server. I didn't look at Dolly's new dialogue, which my bad on that, guys. But if you're unfamiliar with the maze, we can go ahead. You can level sweep this now. It's pretty cool because that sweeps it all in its entirety. Boom, the adventure is complete. Don't even have to do this anymore based on level. You can just zoom right through that. So it makes it super easy. Would you say Demia has fallen out of terms of priority? So Demia, no. And the reason being, when you think of Demia, Demia is one of the only heroes that have kind of a double cheat death, which is kind of broken when you think about it. Mystical is if you combine Demia and if you combine Demia was absolutely #1 highest priority when it came to the last iteration, the beta iteration of the Abyssal Expedition. It's because of running this. The Captive Wings with the double skill level gave the cheat death. So if she took enough damage, it would sacrifice the minion. On top of that, she has the ability to keep the entire team alive. The only teams that were doing billions upon billions of damage in the Abyssal Expedition were the teams that were running Demia because of the enrage of the boss. The boss would get stronger and stronger. The boss didn't have the ability to kill out the team because Demia was alive. Again, the cheat death. And then, of course, the Captive Wings. So when it comes to the Abyssal Expedition, she was absolutely the biggest priority hero, Mystical, because of the ability to keep everyone alive. People have been saying it's Awakened Thorin, apparently, because the code for the new Awakened lines up with Thorin. It could be. So the weird thing, Miles, in most of the stuff that we get data mined from AFK Inside, a lot that we get from the Chinese servers, a lot of different places, and it definitely could be the Awakened version of Thorin. I wouldn't mind the Awakened version of Thorin, but as AFK Arena continues to get older, there's not very much that we're seeing. Usually data would be coming out on AFK Arena all the time. We'd be seeing it kind of consistently coming up. It seems like as a lot of, even YouTubers, even looking at visual, content creators, guides, things of that nature, it doesn't seem like there's as much data mine going on. We're not being really fed a bunch of information. It's tough because, again, I personally don't data mine any of the info, but even looking at AFK Inside, there's not really anything new on there. That has been coming up, even checking on Discord, both the AFK Arena and of course, all of the other ones, looking at in-season, looking at a lot of other players are not playing AFK Arena at the same level that they used to. So again, even a lot of people that were getting a lot of the information, the data mined information, not really doing it anymore. It's kind of big. Is Lavatoon or Aurelia bigger? I would say Lavatoon. Yeah, 7M. And the reason why, the big reason why with Lavatoon is we know where he's used and we know his ability. When you look at Lavatoon and when you look at Aurelia, both of those heroes, of course, going to be used in a lot of different content. I think this is still on cooldown, which it is. But a lot of those heroes are absolutely going to be used. Even if Aurelia is a little bit of a bigger priority for whatever reason, Lavatoon is still going to be used, and Lavatoon is still going to be used everywhere traditionally. We do see him in a ton of different content. Lavatoon's not going anywhere. Honestly, both of those, again, they're not going anywhere as far as the hero itself, which means that I would still prioritize Lavatoon or Aurelia. If you're building out either of those, again, doesn't make a huge difference because both of those are absolutely needed in their own right. What's going on? But I don't know what that is. It looks like a bunch of symbols over here. What is the best artifact for Liberta and what are building stats? So Liberta is one of the heroes that needs to be built up as high as possible. When you start thinking of heroes like Liberta, the higher you build Liberta, and honestly baseline, probably a 39 furniture, 60 engraving. But Liberta is one that is still coming in very, very high in the tier list. Even building him out to a plus 40 signature item, again, is going to amplify the damage that he has based on the stats, still coming in at a very high priority. What's the new Awakened priority? Is Awakened Chimera good? Yeah, the Awakened version of Chimera doesn't really change where she's at, honestly. So Lavatoon is the best bet as free to play. So if you're free to play, yes, Lavatoon will work. And Lavatoon doesn't require such as big of an investment as Aurelia does. I think that was answered in there, but yeah, it will definitely work. Again, Aurelia does require a pretty big build out for the hero. Even looking at the plus 40 signature item, to be super effective, it does require a big build out, which a lot of players are not going to do there. With Land's alt, I don't think she's falling off. No, I don't think Land's going anywhere. And again, thinking of meta, thinking of our support heroes, they're not going anywhere because support heroes can be fit into a lot of different formations. Even if there's a new release with a bunch of, have I been, well, let me finish. As we're going through with the support heroes, even if the meta changes, even if teams change, a majority of time, the support heroes don't change. When you think of building out 5 teams, 6 teams, 7 teams, the support heroes might shift around a little bit in the formation, but the support heroes don't disappear. Even thinking of Aurelia, if you don't have Aurelia built, if you're not summoning for her, overall, there are going to be a lot of other, and there are a lot of other support heroes that fit the bill, maybe not as strong, maybe not as powerful, but they will fit the bill that we have always seen. Playing the Temple Rift. Temple Rift, guys, I am way behind. I am way behind in the Temple Rift, and I know that. No, I haven't been playing the Temple Rift Primo really at all at this point. I definitely need to hop in there and farm up probably 100 levels in there, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. Now, diamond-wise, we're saving them for Randall. When Randall comes out, we're going to go ahead. We're going to pick up the copies that we need to get him up to Ascended. So we'll be able to build out Randall at least to a certain point that we can get him out. And honestly, going through here with the scrolls doesn't really make a big difference. I'm going to save that one just in case. And then, of course, going in here with our companion points, we have the ability to get, and there is Misha, our Celestial Hypos, and always the Awakened Heroes out of here. I'm doing the Temple Rift while watching it. Yeah, Temple Rift, I've been really slacking with the Temple Rift. And I was thinking about it earlier today. Yes, Temple Rift is one that I absolutely need to play a little bit of catch up. But there we go. It looks like we just got a ton of fodder out of there. Also, I need to do the Misty Valley. I haven't went in the Misty Valley yet. I haven't even opened it up yet. I've been kind of slacking here. I don't have many Celestial Hypos built or the Awakened Heroes for a matter, but I have a majority of the 4 faction almost start out. That's what you need, Raphael. So the big thing is right there. So if you have the 4 faction heroes almost all starred out, that is perfect. That is the time where you need to, as your account progresses, farm the towers like crazy. It really is the big part. Is it worth free to play putting SI40 at Hildwyn? No, I would not. I would not. Remember, Hildwyn, guys, plays a very strong support role. Hildwyn is not a damage dealer. I exclusively reserve all of my plus 40 signature items, and you'll notice in here, to the heroes that are providing and doing a lot of damage in here, have to. I got to floor 200 with Awakened Leica, Medusa, the Two-Face Hypo, and Aurelia. Yeah, once you get to a point of the Twisted Realm, or excuse me, the Temple Rift, you can go through there with a lot of heroes, and you can go through there, honestly, with retry stuff like that. Even my free-to-play account gets to level 300, just based on the Temple Rift. And again, it might take you a couple tries, might take you a little bit more time. But as we do get closer to the reset, it gets easier and easier because when you get to the point of having all of those heroes available or having the buffs on those heroes. What beast goes with the Awakened version of Chimera? Depends what content you're in. 5 different faction heroes. The Awakened version of Chimera, a lot of times, some people put crowd control, some people put the owl. Anything that's going to keep her alive will do well. But again, it depends what formation, where you're using the Awakened version of Chimera. Yeah, Palmer has been out for a while, like what Miles said. One of the very best supports of the game because of the crit damage and the crit damage amplification, which is huge. I can't be playing this game as much as I want. That same thing, Mystical. Again, I even farmed the towers, and I'll show you guys. I farmed a lot of the towers yesterday. And overall, we got a ton of cards. We got a ton of progression in there. But I've just been kind of falling short. That's why I'm sticking to one account, which is this one, the YouTube account, and one account only at this point because of having the time aspect. It is really the big one. Should I pull Lan or Gwen or keep saving till the next one? Yeah, right now, LAN is really good. LAN is by far the highest priority when it comes to our highborn heroes, just for the instance of support. Again, when you think of the hero, when you think of support heroes, they are going to stay around for a considerable amount of time. And the reason being, when you think of the support aspect, again, they can be put into a ton of different formations and the hero will do well. So this we need Kelthin and Jerome. Let's drop those two in here. So we need Jerome and we need Kelthin, which is Jerome and Kelthin it called for. Where is Kelthin? I believe that's two. Yeah, Temple Rift, like I said, I definitely have to. Do you get resources back from any garrisoned heroes if you let them back? Heinz is useless. You don't. You don't know, Tommy. You do not. Do I play AFK Journey? We did for a while. We played AFK Journey for a considerable amount of time. The big thing was with AFK Journey, again, the time. When you talk about a time and even thinking of how in-depth AFK Arena is, AFK Journey is tenfold trying to stay up, trying to be competitive. In addition to that, is if you want to really be competitive within AFK Journey, similar to AFK Arena, it comes with a very, very big price tag. I'm talking probably hundreds, thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. If you want to be one of the top players within AFK Journeys, it's what happens. It really does. I'm building Hilduin out of the guild store. That's the way, Raphael. Honestly, when you look at the store, looking at getting Hilduin out of there, also looking at getting Eugene out of there. Once you get them the 1-star, that's it. That's what you want to prioritize. So no ranger, no tank, which that means we'll drop out everyone. And I'm wondering if we can just do it with one warrior. I don't know if this is going to work, but you can see literally just kind of burned everyone down. There we go. So we dropped one warrior in there. One warrior can get it done just based on the level. Pretty easy. Then we get back to our Mauler heroes. And this game mode is just absolutely sick when it comes to the loot. You get so much out of here. What's going on? Alfred S. and Jason are here. Thank you guys for joining me. And guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please sub to the channel. I know we forgot it last time we did the stream, but absolutely, we are starting to pick up a lot more subs, which is cool to see that there are a lot of players that are still playing and coming into AFK Arena that are newer to the channel. It's always awesome to see. For the dims, I have Rem, Amelia, and Albedo. Is there any dims I need? Yeah, Mystical. If you don't have Rimuru and Shuna. Shuna is huge. Shuna is honestly probably one of those very, very big support heroes that a lot of players thought were not going to be super effective. And now we're seeing her in a ton of formation. I think this was Wilders. I'm going to say I thought it was Wilders, but I didn't pick that up really quick if it was the Wilders in general. There we go. Now, of course, the Awakened version of Leica going to come in a little bit later. And look at that, a brand new member. Jason, thank you for supporting the channel as a member. Awesome to see those little hippos right there. That is really, really cool. Thank you for the support, guys. And everybody who has the membership. I've seen Miles out there, Mesmer. Everyone, Darren, that has those memberships out there. It does support the channel. And a lot of what we get in the support goes back into AFK Arena. And that is kind of how the cycle of life continues. So we have Granite and we have Trichia in here. Let me pop these in here before I miss them. So we got Trichia, which Trichia is still being used in a couple different places. Granite, unfortunately, has fallen off incredibly, incredibly hard. Used to be the instant crowd control for a lot of different formations, which was kind of crazy. Not that I don't farm the towers, it's more or less I'm beginning at floors of 2 teams where I don't have good formations. So that's the other thing, Raphael, is what I did to overcome is the level deficiencies. So I started farming everywhere that I had the ability to actually get essence. I started farming essence like crazy. Essence is going to be very, very important when it comes to building up and when it comes to tower progression. It's going to be levels. It is going to be levels. It's going to be, of course, hero builds. Levels are going to be the biggest thing. So if you have the ability to get essence, Raphael, grind a lot of essence. What did it say? All heroes on the back line must be support. But grinding out the essence, buying the essence will make a very kind of a short-term sacrifice for a long-term advancement. Do you just have land unlocked viable? I used her in the Nightmare Corridor. Not sure. So it does work land with land, Miles. Right now I only have land at, I believe, Legendary Plus. We're trying to get a couple more copies in there. Land will work, but land doesn't work as well as she needs to. The higher you build out land, of course, the more or honestly the better she's going to work. Land will work at a basic version, which is exactly what I have now, just a very basic version of land. But land does work pretty well at a basic version. And for a majority of players, they don't have land. A lot of people don't have land at all. I need help with lineups. Where's a good place to go to see how to use your heroes? So the big thing, Jason, is the formations. So when you think of the formations itself, and I'll show you in just a minute, there are, and I don't know why he wouldn't die, there are kind of the recommended formations. Now with the recommended formations, they have the ability to use only your heroes. That's the big thing. So when we come in here, oh, let me grab my loot in here. We'll do a couple more summons, but looking in here, like I said earlier, the best place by far to get all of these resources, getting, of course, all of these chests, getting your essence like we were just talking about, but getting all of those pull coins and everything, absolutely a great place to get a crazy amount of resources out of there. Like I was saying though, when it comes to formations, so when we look at any of these, it is right here. These formations, the recommended formations will only use the heroes that you possess. So it's not going to show you a bunch of formations that I cannot use or I don't have the heroes. Now with that, you have to remember, it will show you formations for heroes you have. So if you have one single hero that is a very basic, let's say you have an elite hero that is, again, super, super basic, it is still going to show you that very basic, it is still going to show you the formation if you have the hero opened and unlocked. Now, a lot of these I do have completely cleared out. The Forgotten Necropolis, I worked on this a lot last night. We went through, I think, around 40 floors. But again, looking at the heroes, even right there is Braun. It will show you formations, recommended formations based on the heroes you have. Now, it's super hard to try to fit almost like a square peg in a round hole. That is the reason why when you look at a lot of players' formations, you can say, okay, well, I don't have this hero, I don't have this hero, I don't have this hero. Recommending formations in this game has become incredibly complex because every player's account is different. How they built the heroes are different, and where honestly they put the investment is completely different based on the player itself. It's hard. I don't feel like Mulan is used as much as she was. No. And the big thing, Soul, is when you start looking at the heroes like Mulan, they start getting replaced. Even looking here, looking at Mulan, which I have pretty well built, we have all the gear, we have everything. I don't use Mulan for anything. Now, when it comes to not having all of the heroes built, when you start looking at AFK guys, when you start looking at a lot of different formations, Mulan is a really, really good substitute for a bunch of different heroes, which means as a free-to-play player or a player that doesn't have everyone built, Mulan is a really good choice because, again, she is going to substitute a lot of those formations where you might not have every single hero used. I would say build out Mulan after Flora. Absolutely can. I farm every tower to 360 and the Celestial Tower 180. Yeah, and that's it. Guys, towers, you will always farm. There is no way. Is Albedo a priority? So actually, no, Tommy. So looking at Albedo, and this was one of the things. So when the plus 40 signature items were released, a lot of players were looking at this plus 40 signature item, increasing the attack rating of all dimensionals in the formation. We tested this out a ton. We tested this out in a lot of formations, even looking at when a lot of the newer heroes came out, you know, when we seen Rimuru come out, but when we also seen a lot of dimensional heroes come out, this didn't have the effect that players were thinking. And as you see it right now, looking at all of the formations, Albedo might be used in a niche formation here or there, but overall, we are not seeing Albedo in formations. Doesn't say in the future that we're not going to see her, but when you start going through a multitude of game modes, you will notice that Albedo is not being used anywhere anymore. Again, if being used in kind of a niche formation, but going down here, even looking when we do get to some dimensionals, and honestly, a lot of the dimensional heroes, you know, there's Land, there's Aurelia. When you start looking at a lot of the dimensional heroes, they are really starting to fall off. When you think, again, looking at even our strongest, you know, like the Rem and Amelia combination, a lot of the dimensional heroes are falling off, and that's because we have the Draconic faction. when you look at some of the places where before we used some of the dimensional heroes, now they've been kind of taken over by the draconic heroes. You know, Hilduin's being used quite a few places. We have even right here with Nyla being used in a couple places, looking at Meleon again being used in a couple places. The dimensional heroes have kind of a little bit less of an effect because we have the addition of the draconic heroes, which is kind of crazy. Who is a good sub for Lan? Let me think, Miles, because I know Lan, a lot of places Lan is being used. Again, thinking of other support that kind of does what Lan does. A lot of players say it's the ultimate ability. That's the big thing looking at Lan and looking at the ability is this one. This is the dragon, the attack enemy to all enemies cannot recover energy or receive healing for 10 seconds. Again, this is going to be a really big one. When you think PvP wise, the ability to negate energy, to negate healing, that is going to be a really big one. And then of course, hit enemies are stunned for 10 seconds or until they receive. You're literally locking down entire teams, which when you start looking again, level deficiencies PvP, this is a really big one. And I know, like I said earlier, having land built out higher makes a big difference. When you start adding in the signature item, when you start increasing the duration of the clouds, when you start, again, increasing the attack bonus, stuff like that, it makes a big difference when you build the hero out, when you have the opportunity to build it out. And that's why the hero went to the meta, honestly, when it looks. Stuck at level 4620, need help with 5 teams for the campaign. Honestly, Darren, use the formations. That is what I use looking at the formations. This is the place based on the heroes that you have where it's going to be. What is going on, Crash? There's a swap coming soon. Usually they do it every year. I'm not sure. Albedo boosts all dimensionals in the party, but not enough, Tommy. Not enough. Yeah, not so much. That's again, if Albedo really was that much of a game changer, we would see Albedo being used in a ton of different content, which unfortunately that is not the case as it sits today. We are not seeing a lot of utility. Now campaign, like I said, right here's 1220, right here's 1240, there's 1260. And then of course, hitting the 1220 there gives us 6,000 poke coins, which is awesome to go ahead and build that out. Like I said earlier, we've been farming out a lot of the towers. What about Rimuru and Shuna? How do you get them? So as of right now, you cannot dead. So as it sits right now, so after the release, you have a certain amount of time. So with the addition of Rimuru and Shuna, after the release, so we know they were released a couple months ago, you have to wait through the garrison, but it is usually 5 to 6 months before you see them pop into the garrison. There will be a point probably in the next 2 or 3 patches where the heroes will pop into the garrison. You will see Rimuru and Shuna in here. It usually waits about 5 to 6 months after the release of the hero to show up in the garrison. That is traditionally what we've seen. So if you don't have the heroes, you're going to have to wait. You are going to have to wait. Beto is good if you have 3 dims to spare. And again, the dims don't seem like they're having a huge big. Yeah, land to mythic. That is the signature item. If you get land built up to mythic, yes, the signature item works incredibly well. What's going on, Veldex? I'm late. That's okay, Elo. We're a little bit late with the stream, so you might not be as late as you think. Even here, we're still picking up all of our elemental cores, twisted bounties. I didn't pick this up, but you know what? I'm wondering if I have anything on my gift card in here. I'm not sure. So $24.99, 26. I don't know if that's going to work. It should work. Oh, it's going to ask me. I'm going to pick this one up later. I don't want to put in the password while we're in a live stream for the Google account. So definitely not doing that one. But I'm going to pick up these poke coins. And again, I'm saving the poke coins. A lot of players were kind of wondering that. I am saving them because we know that Randall is coming. We know Randall is going to be right around the corner. And I want to save up. I wonder how many I have in here. We're at 51,000 poke coins. So I'll go ahead. I will pick up that pack, which again, we'll pick that one up in a little bit. But overall, definitely want to pick up those poke coins, 51. That'll take us to 80, probably 80 plus. How's the new Graveborn hero? So the Graveborn hero seems to be doing very well and is being used actually in a couple different formations. The thing with the new Graveborn hero is a lot of players are not happy with the Graveborn hero going on the enemy side. That is one of the big things, Veldex, is with the hero popping over to the enemy side, which means level deficiencies, not going to work. Not going to work at all, zero. But thinking of boss formations, thinking of putting relics on the hero, thinking of a couple different formations, the hero is going to work very well. PvP, questionable with the new Graveborn. In the monthly card, does it actually give you 17k diamonds, or is that something else? It does. So the monthly card does give you so many diamonds per day. That's the big thing when you look at the monthly card. And if you're purchasing anything in AFK Arena, the monthly cards are one of the absolute best things that you can buy, valued at 22,000 diamonds. But here you see this gives us 300 for purchase reward, and it gives us 100 a day. So when you think of 30 days, you're getting 100 a day. It substitutes some of the diamonds. Now in here, you could do the same. You could get 600 diamonds a day. I recommend getting the time emblems, but I do know players that do pick up the diamonds, because remember, to get the time emblem from the shop, it's 500 diamonds. So not only are they kind of paying for itself, but you're also getting the bonus 100 diamonds out of there. And then of course, out of here, we have red chests in here. We have baits if you're not already at Beast Resonance 18. And then out of here, we are getting elemental cores every day. So looking in here on the daily purchases, we get a lot of stuff out of there, which is awesome. It's very cool to get them out of there. Graveborn's still the best faction, yes. When I'm broke, but what do you spend your money on? So I spend it on very simple, and even looking here, remember, our budget was $100 a month. If you checked out the finance channel, $100 a month was our budget. We are buying both of these, which equates to $20. Noble Society, we are buying both of these. So this one was $24.99. So even looking there, we're at about 45 bucks, and that's all we buy. We didn't buy this. We didn't buy this. Again, I budget $100 a month, but looking in here, I know we did buy when the little event was up with the little hopping guy, which, oh, we got this. Look at these. We can buy more scrolls out of here, but we don't have insignias. I don't want to buy these. But look, 20 plus 3. So you're getting a little bonus, but that's 10,000 diamonds in here. I didn't even realize this pack was up for the signature item. But again, we're not putting all of this money into the game. Even here lets you pick your hero. Overall, we're still sticking well under the $100 budget. But like I said, we're sitting at about $50 right now, probably a little less than 50 is what we're spending and what we're putting in here. And that's what we're staying on, Mystical. We're really staying stuck. Graveborn, yeah. Yeah, Graveborn, I would say best core regular faction, Graveborn. When you think utility-wise and when you think even extended utility, you know, the awakened version of Chimera and Baden, super, super strong. Even the original version of Baden still being used in a couple places. Looking at Ivan, Lady Simona in there, looking at Bronn, looking at Damon. There are so many heroes that are still being used within this faction. It is, in my opinion, probably still the absolute best faction. If you're newer to AFK Arena, building a hero like Ivan is broken. Ivan does super well. I might actually get to the point where I get his plus 40 signature item, but we'll have to see, because again, there are a lot of players, or there are a lot of heroes in here that do work super, super well. Now, Lost Sigils, I haven't done this one yet, but in here, Road to Glory, again, kind of the basic. This one came up last night. Now in here, we're doing the exact same. So looking down here at the heroes, we already have Lavatoon. We already have our baits. Lavatoon is the one to get. When you look at a player, if you're free to play, Lavatoon would be one to get. If you don't have Lavatoon really built out to 1 star, I would get Lavatoon out of here. Again, just because of the utility we're seeing with the hero, absolutely still top in that SSS tier. And then going down here, these are what I am getting. I am getting cores. Like you've seen earlier, I have about 600 red chests. Yeah, $100 a month is light. I know 7MA, but again, I'm budgeting it the way that I feel like the game needs to be. Just doing the monthly and subscription at this point. Yeah, Tommy, that's it. And like I said, if something pops up like a Rimuru, like a Shuna, we'll definitely buy them. We'll pick them up. But what we get in here from the memberships, donations, even looking at YouTube AdSense, that is a lot of what we put back into AFK Arena. So it does really cover itself. Now in here, you can do this one of two ways. You can split it between it. I choose not to. So even going in here is I will pick one faction. So we'll go ahead and challenge. And I'm going to go in here with my Wilder faction. So I'm going to drop a couple different Wilders in here. And then let's drop in. There we go. We'll throw some Awakened Heroes. Let's go for some Trishia. We will sweep. We'll auto reroll. We'll let this run. And again, I do this every single day. Today I'll do the Wilders, tomorrow I'll do the Light Bearers, and then I just literally go back and forth every single day that we do this. That way I can get all of the cores out of there. I know it delays it a day, but I'm not too worried about it. We're not building anyone right now. We're not putting any of our cores into anyone. I want to see exactly where Randall is, where he falls in tier lists, and see exactly the impact of him within the Abyssal Expedition. Whales have no life. There you go. I'm getting Draconic Chess. See, I don't like the Draconic Chess when you think of the heroes in general. And this is the big thing, is when you look at the Draconic Chess, it's good because it's one of the only places that you can get it. But when you think of the impact of having tier 3 gear versus having tier 4 gear, doesn't really have a huge impact. There is not a very big impact. And again, as you get further, as you get more levels, it doesn't really have such a big impact. Even a lot of whale players that are fully built don't even bother with equipping gear, which I think is kind of silly, but they don't even bother equipping gear because the gear has a very, very minimal impact. You could get it, but even looking here at 60 insignias, that is super, super expensive. Even looking here where it's only a total of 20, is I'm getting 300 cores. Well, what? Yeah, 300 cores in comparison to what you're getting for one single Draconic chest. Doesn't make a big difference. Oh, what's going on, John Paul? Always love your content. Thank you. I love doing YouTube, guys. I love being able to come in here, being able to talk to you guys, doing the streams. It is something that I love. And of course, this is the only place, this is the community, this is the place that I get to talk about AFK Arena and really nerd out with you guys. It is the one and only place. Now, Isle of Gold. This is another place I do not attack. You can see I'm 5 of 2 pillages, but I go in here and I build these out to really get a lot of resources, a lot of loot. I don't know why it doesn't collect it. I've noticed it a couple different times. I have to click on a couple different buildings. But let's go ahead. We'll do some more rolls in here. Again, I'm not too keen on attacking, even the PvP aspect. I do right at the end, usually about the end, because we did build out a few flowers. But overall, getting in here and building out some of these, this is the Fountain of Blessing. This, of course, is going to increase the Prosper that is gained, allowing us to maximize everything we get in here. And this is how I run it. I do not run anything else. I don't go ahead and fill up all of these empty slots because I want to level up all the buildings I have in here. And I know, again, this is probably a place I could have done a lot more rolls. I could have focused a lot more time and effort into, but unfortunately I didn't. Yeah, I wouldn't bother with Draconic gear. Yeah, that's it. You can buy them, but it's very, very expensive for the Draconic gear. And in my opinion, not really worth it. Lavitude's wardrobe was lame. Yeah, Lavitude has a really cool skin. And I don't, again, you know me, budget friendly. I don't buy any of the skins. If they are skins we're buying, I bought, I believe, one. I think we bought Liberta's skin, and that was the only skin. I think that was the only skin that we bought that we actually win. You can get Draconic gear. Yes, you can get Draconic gear. You can also get it out of the Forge. If you guys look within the Draconic Forge, you can get gear out of there, which again, it's either getting the gear or getting the heroes. I would really highly advise everyone to get the heroes out of there versus getting the gear. Not a really good point. Draconic emblems are hard to get. Yeah, like I said, Draconic emblems are very hard to get. Get the heroes, don't worry about the gear. It is really about getting the Draconic heroes, again, versus getting the gear. And I think there was a point where we did get something, because I believe I have some of the gear for Gwen that we got for free out of somewhere. And it might have been an event, it might have been something with the Draconic heroes. But I think we did get free Draconic chests out of somewhere, because I got 2 of them. And again, I don't buy them. So we did get 2 of those Draconic chests out of somewhere. I just don't remember where, but look at the guild coins. Guild coins have exponentially gotten better and better as we started getting all of the additions, including Hildwyn and the Draconic insignias, into the shop. You really want to make sure that you're focusing on them. And again, thinking about levels, right here is your essence. Build up your essence, build up even here with diamonds. Build all of this up and focus on the essence if you need essence. If you're having a difficulty pushing through all of those towers, you want to build it up, and you want to build it up as fast as possible. And of course, looking in here, we're almost done. A couple more days, we'll get all the rest of the loot. I think we have, what, 5 more days? 5 more days out of here, so 5 more days of loot. And even looking what we've gotten so far, 6,000 diamonds, guys, 54,000 Arcane Labyrinth tokens. Even here, 54k guild coins and 24,000 essence. That is awesome. That is awesome. You bought Palmer. It might have been Palmer skin. I did buy Palmer skin. So this was one. Did we get it for free or did we buy it? So, I know if you guys have been watching for quite a while, I am getting Draconic Gears from the event. If I could get 200 red chests instead, I want to finish land. So the other thing, Mystical, is never seen them. You can buy them from you can't buy them from the guild shop. So Dragon Isle, like we were talking about with, the forge is closed. The forge is closed, but they have the gear in here. But like I said, I believe we did get some out of, I put it on Gwen. Gwen. We have 3 pieces right here of Draconic gear. I was going to say, I thought we had Draconic gear, and we do. We have 3 pieces of Draconic gear here for Gwen. We also got one of the paid, or 2. I've gotten 2, guys. I've gotten 2 of the pay-to-win skins from AFK Arena. Through the contest, through a couple different contests that we've actually been a part of, we have gotten some of the pay-to-win skins. They gave us the skins for free. They gave us a ticket to get a free skin. So I know that's another way with some of the content creation contests, stuff like that. We've gotten some. And look at that, guys. Boom. 2 trillion power on the account. As we continue with the Resonating Crystal and levels, we are at 2 trillion combat rating. It's incredible. That is absolutely crazy. Is Kregor actually good? So the big thing with Kregor is we're seeing him in PvP. So that is really the big thing. Now, thinking of Kregor, he was one that we knew coming out of the gate, Kregor was going to be absolutely in PvP, just based on the skills and abilities. I'm not sure. Right there he is. So based on the skills and abilities, right there is Kregor. We knew, looking at the skills and abilities, the stun, the methodology behind how this hero works, that Kregor was going to be used. Will you buy the $15 pass for Isle of Gold? I do not, Miles. No, I don't buy any of the Isle of Gold ones. I don't buy, really the only other one I buy is the diamonds. And we bought the diamonds out to build out the heroes within the Dragon Isle. And even looking here, I would pick up some of these packs. I would buy some of these out if they were not so stupid expensive. And honestly, when you look at this pack, it is $99 for 50 Draconic Insignias, as we can see right there. These Draconic Insignias, at 50 Insignias, you might get 1 copy, maybe. You might get a copy. So you're talking $100 for a possible crack at a copy of a hero. No thanks. The cost of that is so much higher, just exponentially so much higher than anything else. In my opinion, it's not worth it. Even looking at the cost here, where even just getting a cost of a hero itself is not that high. Exponentially, again, kind of thinking of the growth bundles and getting some of the heroes, even looking at the Awakened heroes, the cost is not even in the same level. You're not even in the same boat. Here you get a copy of your Awakened hero and you get 80. So you're guaranteed another one out of here. You're getting a minimum of 2. Possibly if we bought it, you might get 3 copies. Where the Draconic heroes, you're not even guaranteed 1. It's crazy. Isle of Gold looks like a lot of it. Let me check it out. Let me look at the value of the Isle of Gold. Let me see if it's going to be worth it to get the pack. And again, thinking of the cost of the bonuses. So what is in here for the pack? So these, again, we can get some cores out of there, but I don't see anything really game-changing. Don't need the heroes. Don't need the bait. Got a couple red chests in here. See, even looking here, and that's it. So thinking of my account, we don't need time emblems. I really don't need red chests or cores. We're just kind of stockpiling them. I don't need the baits. I don't need the heroes. Could be worth it for the price of the $15, but overall, it seems like a lot of resources that unfortunately I won't use a lot of them. But if you want to pick up a pack, it seems like it's pretty good. Overall, if you're looking for heroes, if you're looking to do some summons in there, could definitely be worth it for some players to pick up. But again, I'm pretty stingy when it comes to money in general. And even looking at a pack like that, you could pick it up. I would just stockade probably a couple more resources out of there. I've stuck to my 45, well, yeah, $45 that we're putting in right now. Haven't really blown the budget in a while, but we're getting by. We're getting by where we are. And again, when you think of a pack, spending $15 on a pack like that, what is going to be the impact on your account? How much higher is it going to be built? What exactly do you need? Even looking here, all of these heroes kind of fluff short of getting that copy of Flora, which is again one copy closer to doing that exchange that we love so much. Yeah, Nyla's good. Nyla is one, again, utility-wise. Nyla, we are still seeing a lot of utility for the hero. There's another copy of Flora, which of course is going to sit there. But looking at our rickety cart, replacing heroes. Land we don't have, but let's look at Aurelia. Right there, we have a copy. Tier 2 high must be reverted first. Oh, that's right. We have to go ahead. We have to revert the hero. And it'll keep combining it, which is just absolutely a pain in the butt. So if I get one more copy of Flora, or if I get one copy of any of the ones that we already have, we can start swapping it. This is a way that to get, essentially, when you get heroes up to 5 stars, you can start exchanging them for a lot of other heroes, which is good. Still 5 copies off of 1-star Nyla. Yeah, Nyla's a good one. When you think of the Draconic heroes, Nyla was the very, very first one that we built. And again, thinking utility-wise, Nyla is still being used in a lot of different places in AFK Arena. I feel like support heroes, like we said, not going anywhere anytime soon because, again, they can be rotated into different, essentially different teams within AFK Arena. Not going to be going anywhere. I'm only at 81 billion. The big thing, Soul, is having the heroes and, of course, Resonating Crystal. Then it goes right back to putting her together again. Resonating Crystal makes a big difference with your power level in there. And it's gonna drive me crazy with her little red exclamation point. It doesn't like that I didn't combine. Now, of course, Temple of Time, 656, sitting up here, Stargazer, Noble Tavern, even we did our summons in there. Out of the store, we've talked about this before with purchases. I am buying one of these every single day. Matter of fact, I'm gonna add it in my pre-order list. That way we're picking that up every day. This is the only way, unfortunately, as it sits today, that you're going to have the ability to build collections in the Ghoulish Gallery, is going in there and being able to get some of these mythic totems. And of course, building these out, you have to unlock them. And I've gotten a lot of them to level 3 at this point. Some of those to level 4, where I have 4 different heroes that can wear a very, very strong collection. But I don't like how they're still all independent. I've leveled these up right here. I need another 18 Legendary Bizarre Totems. That's stupid. In my opinion, guys, that it's stupid that it costs so many totems that you have to sacrifice or utilize so many of those totems to build these out even further. 5 I'm okay with, but when it starts getting into these higher levels to build these abilities, it is stupid how expensive they are. Vault of Time is the Abyssal Expedition, yes. It is the Abyssal Expedition is the Vault of Time, which we know is coming right around the corner. Right there, the event has not begun. This is our Vault of Time. It is coming down the pipeline. We have our new trial here, Misty Valley. We cleaned out. Peggy's game is done. Bountiful Trial. I think this is probably just going to be picking up diamonds. We have some guildies that love to do this. And if you don't remember before, there we go. Look, guild members defeat enemies at level 990 or above. Players can max these out because the power creep in that game mode has gotten so incredibly high. You can go in there and you can just crush everything that you want to do in that game mode. It's kind of crazy. I do have our signature item to 46. Signature items are so expensive. Next live stream will be the Abex stream. We can hop in there. We can do a primo. We can do an Abex stream, and I'm going to show you kind of how we start in the Abyssal Expedition. But I will set up everything. I will make sure that we're starting it. Now, of course, like I said, Temple Rift. Oh, I've been slacking in the Temple Rift. It's bad, guys. It's bad. We're at level. We have 39 days left, but I am at level 160. Floor 160, max floor. Look at all of these floors. We got to go to 280. I'm at 160. Like I said, I have not, since we got to the 4th team in here, I haven't even went through and did this not once. Temple Rift's going to be my focus tonight. I'm going to have to hop on here. I'm going to have to build this up a little bit further to get some of the resources out of here. But players are absolutely crushing it when it comes to the awards in here. And again, thinking of down here, looking at our Stargazer scrolls, looking at our time emblems, I'm not really using many of them at all. We're at the point of AFK Arena where a majority of the heroes we have built out pretty high. I'm building these out of the guild now. Even looking at the guild store, I have Hilduin done. I have Eugene done. Eugene is at 3 stars. Hilduin is at 1 star. So at this point, I am going to buy the copies every single day for Eugene. I'm going to build Eugene out. I'm going to max him out to that 5 stars. Then, of course, he gets dropped out of here. So unfortunately, we cannot get him. Then I will pop back to building out and really building out Hildwyn. We have 7 more days. I'm not going to be able to get all the copies, but you can see we got 3 or 4 out of here. So next week with our next cycle, we'll be able to build that out a little bit further. What's going on, Gazi? I do Temple Rift on auto. You should wait a week, set good teams, and let it run solo. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Alfred Us. Again, that's where I've kind of taken a back seat for the Temple Rift. I haven't really been focused on pushing it as much as a lot of players do. Now, there is a reward in here that I believe is the frame. And again, I remember, I think somewhere in here, if I remember, that there is a place in here that's kind of buried with the frames. Yep, here are the frames. You can see getting those floors. You can see my current rank. You can get some of those frames in there, which is pretty cool. Again, I don't like pushing it that far. I don't spend that much time and effort in there to pick up those frames. And of course, you can also get some stamps out of there. But again, I'm not really too worried about pushing this game mode. The frames, there are so many at this point, even like the animated avatars, where you get to the point of frames that you have a ton of frames. You can only wear 1 at a time. Same with the avatars. You can only wear 1 at a time, and we have so many animated avatar frames, even looking at the beasts. You only get 1, and you only get 1 at a time. I've held one at 1 star, but haven't really maxed out, and that's about it for the Draconic faction. Oh yeah, if you're doing very well, Meleon's pretty good, yes. Again, support hero, Draconic hero. Meleon will do well in formations and does very, very well in those formations. Let me hop in here before I forget, because we're almost done with the stream. Let me hop in here and do our membership giveaway. I almost forgot this. So let me do the membership giveaway. It'll pop up in just a minute. I don't want to miss it, but I'm wondering if it'll just let me go through. It might ask me for my password over here. And there it doesn't. There it doesn't require me to do anything, but there we go. Membership giveaway is popping up in just a minute, guys. And congratulations to, who to go out to? Cheesy. Cheesy gets a free membership. Congratulations, guys. We do this every single time. Let me also check the friends list. I know a lot of players always ask me about the friends list. Do I have places that are available? 2 days is the offline. If you are offline for 2 days, 18 hours, 17, everybody's even logged online every day, which is phenomenal. That is absolutely seated. Is level 12 beast good? Yes, Mystical. So the big thing is level 12 beasts do very, very well. Once you get them up to 15, they will do even better with the beast ground, which, I mean, we have 3,000 essence in here. Once you get them to 18, you never have to worry about them again, Mystical. That is the reason why I've said before, getting the beast level up to 18 is an absolute game changer. It is where you want to build these beasts out to, because when you're getting them up to 18, once they're at 18, you get all of the beasts at 18. You get all of the beasts completely unlocked with all the skills and abilities. That is where you want to get the beast to. You want 18. And I know it's going to take a while to get them higher than that, but I'm not too worried. Even looking at the baits, like I said, I don't worry about this. I don't really build them. Only one worth taking much higher than 18 is the Slumbering Seal. The seal, the higher you build the seal, the more damage the seal is going to do, which is the reason why we build the seal up in the entirety. We'll go ahead, we'll build them out. There's 4 more copies of our seal. He is the one that we, again, continue to build out in the entirety, because the higher that he is built out, the better he is going to perform. The more damage that the seal is going to put out, the more damage the team is going to put out, just based on the seal being built, which is awesome. You're the best thing to come out of Detroit since Alice Cooper. That is awesome, Tommy. Alice Cooper, of course, we know, kind of an interesting individual. We'll put it that way. But yeah, definitely a very, very cool. Need 1 more copy of Misha to Ascender, and it was by accident. That's awesome. Misha's being used in a bunch of different places, guys. If you haven't built out Misha, Misha's still being used, again, in a lot of different places. Get that last copy. Yeah, get the frame if you want to use the animated avatar for her. It is really cool. But all right, guys, so that is going to do it for our stream. We're right about there. I got to finish my Halloween decorations. We know there's going to be more skins coming down the pipeline. The Abyssal Expedition's coming down the pipeline, which is going to be the frames. We know Randall is coming, I'm assuming, patch notes tomorrow, like we normally see on Monday, release on Tuesday. Rumor is Thorin. People are saying that it is going to be that awakened version of Thorin. We're going to have to see once I get confirmation. Of course, that is going to come out. Thorin, I am not too sad about, because Thorin, we know, is a hero. I'm just wondering how they're going to build him. What's he going to look like? It's going to be very interesting to see how they do this awakened version of Thorin, if that is in fact what they do. Wouldn't it be funny if they were thinking all Thorin all along, and then all of a sudden, boom, gets released, and it is the secondary tank. It is Grez, which is awesome. But again, we're going to have to see exactly what it looks like. But all right, guys, so again, that's going to do it for today's stream. Thank you guys for joining me. All love and support. Congratulations to the new members that have joined and all the new subscribers to the channel that we continue to get. So again, thank you guys for watching the stream, and thank you guys for watching.